This is the seaside resort of Bangor on the shores of Belfast Lough. We're only a few miles from Belfast, and I and thousands of other children like me spent many lazy, hazy summer days here. Ahoy there! They say that the past is a foreign country, and it's to the country of childhood that I'm bringing you on a trip today. Looking back with nostalgia are songwriter Robin Mark, sculptor Ross Wilson, and singer Daniel O'Donnell. And we'll have hymns old and new. Bangor in County Down has been at the heart of Ireland's Christian heritage since the 6th century. The ancient Abbey of Bangor was famous throughout Europe as a place of learning, earning Ireland the title of the land of saints and scholars. In fact, there was a saying in Europe at the time that if a man knew Greek, he was bound to be Irish. From here went great numbers of monks like Columbanus, Gall and Comgall, men whose missionary zeal carried the Christian message far and wide. Bangor has a long and varied history. It prospered as a seafaring port, and the seafront was once the location for several large steam-powered cotton mills. But a new railway in 1865 meant that inexpensive travel from Belfast was now possible, and working people from the city could then afford to holiday here. Before the days of the overseas holiday, Bangor was the destination of choice, and thousands of us have fond memories of its many attractions. The seaside, the parks, the walks, but especially the picky pool. Visitors still enjoy the seaside experience today, and the Christian legacy continues. This is Hamilton Road Presbyterian Church, which hosts our hymns. Now used for council business, this was once the music room of Bangor Castle. Throughout the 6th century, Bangor was famous for its choral psalmody, a tradition of continuous singing of scripture. Today we sing hymns and worship songs also based on the Bible. And one of Ireland's best known Christian songwriters is Robin Mark, whose songs are sung in churches right around the world. For Robin, it all started with children's meetings in a small, unassuming gospel hall.
Well, my first faith experience was when I remember being sent as a child to a little gospel hall in East Belfast. I haven't been here for a lifetime, it seems, a lot of years. When I came as a small child, it brings back a lot of memories. I can remember in particular sitting here in this seat. It was originally forms, a bench, and we squeezed maybe 6 or 7 young kids into each row and filled this place on a Wednesday night. The things that I remember most of all was the stories, actually. The stories were obviously biblical stories, but great stories of, young boys fighting giants and winning because they were brave enough. Men standing up for what they believed in and being thrown into lions' dens, but surviving because God looked after them. I can even remember the words of the song and the music of the song and the melody all these years later. It was Daniel was a man of prayer. Daniel was a man of prayer. Daily he prayed 3 times, even when they had him cast in the den of lions. It taught us something about life. And I suppose the best story and the greatest story of all was that there was a God who we would regard as our Father and that he loved us. A lot of years later, when I was 16, I had to make a decision about what my life was going to amount to. And I chose Christ and the reality and the understanding of the sacrifice that he made for me, and I chose that as a pathway. And actually it was after that I started to learn how to play guitar and started to write music. And it was almost like an accidental event. I hadn't really intended it, but some of the stuff I wrote, people found quite interesting. Some of the themes that I wrote on, they found quite interesting, and the people wanted to sing them. And so, as opposed to being a small child singing someone else's songs in a little gospel hall, suddenly the tables were turned and I had written songs that people were singing out. My heart will sing to you because of your great love. Essentially there's one main theme running through my music. We sometimes say the word simple faith, and I think faith at its very core is simple. It's that acceptance that actually there is a God that loves you, and there is a God that has a purpose for you, and that he has moved heaven and earth and given his son in order that we might find that purpose and that love. People sometimes say to me, with one theme, have we not written every song that really needs to be written? And I always say, well, there'll never be enough songs written to cover the majesty and the glory of that one event. And so I write on inspiration. Behold, he comes, riding on the clouds, shining like sun at the trumpet call. It's a great feeling when people take your words and start to sing in the same way as we sang as children.